This is Anderson Penn's podcast episode 162 for Tuesday, August 18th, 2015. This is Brian.
This is Lisa.
This is the Anderson Penn's radio network.
Can't believe we're home.
I know, it's so exciting.
So phenomenal.
Happy to be home. Just got back from the Washington, D.C. Super Show.
It was super.
It was super. It was really a fantastic show.
We learned a lot. We saw a lot. We bought a lot. Oh my God.
Wow. Start from the beginning, I guess, right? Top.
You know, I think that admitting you have a problem is the first step, right?
Who's got a problem? I don't have a problem.
I don't know if any of you looked at the pictures, but when we left, we could not, the car was so full, we couldn't recline the seats at all.
Did I don't know if I took a picture. I don't think I posted a picture of the car going out.
Oh my God. Yeah, so we couldn't recline the seats at all. It was full. And, you know, we say all the time that we can't see out the back. I mean, the car was so full, I thought we were going to tear the car liner. We didn't. Seriously, we didn't. Everything was fine. Let's just say that on the way back, I mean, we sold a lot. It was a great show, but we bought a lot. And
well, we'll get to that. Let's not rush into it.
I know, but I'm just so glad to be home and out of that car.
We were bringing a lot of things to deliver, both for our customers as well as dropping some stuff off for the PCA.
Yes.
So we knew we were going to have extra room in the car on the return trip.
Yeah,
and
right.
You know, hopefully maybe we'd sell a few bottles of ink here or there, and so we'd have some room. So anyway, we get in. We left about 3:30 on Wednesday. Is that about right?
Yeah, it was about 3:45. Yeah.
About 3:45, and we promptly left Lisa's phone back at the store. So after a couple of frantic phone calls to our son Garrett and to Dave at the store, we located it sitting next to the computer in the office. Drove back, got it.
I will freely admit I am constantly losing my phone and my 26 pair of reading glasses.
Yes. Yep. It's a daily check.
Several times a day. In fact, I stand in the store. I've gone to do something out in the store away from the office, and I turn around and they're gone. And Dave and Emily both just look at me and go, "You lost them again?"
I think that needs to be a requirement for the next person we hire. Is they need to be able to track down where the glasses are. So shipping and receiving, customer service, and glass location.
Yep, it's bad.
So left about 3:45-ish. Got in about 11 o'clock Eastern time Thursday morning. Figured we'd get there early so we could set up, get some sleep. And at 11 o'clock on Thursday, the place was already hopping. The whole atrium was packed.
It was great.
I don't think there was a single table empty. It was pretty well occupied by all sorts of folks.
It was good to see everybody.
Yeah, it was real nice and casual, but there was some serious stuff going on. Thursday, actually, so we ran into our good friend George Ramakis, who may or may not be in, usually hangs out in the chat. And George showed me some of the most amazing pens. George always has great pens. He had the first thing he pulls out of his case, and it's something serious when it's like the pen doesn't fit in any conventional pen case whatsoever.
George has great stuff.
He does. He has a more safety with a number 12 size nib. I don't even know what this thing is called. It's a number 12 size American fountain pen company nib. So those of you know your more history, The first Moors have American. They don't say Moore, they say American Fountain Pen Company.
It's a nightstick.
It was huge.
Sincerely, there are no words for how big this thing is.
I kid you not. I mean, this thing was, I don't know. It was outrageous. In fact, I just handed it back to him and said, listen, man, this is, and it was black as all get out. You know, it's black hard rubber, safety. He says he won it off of eBay. So cool pen. And then he says, okay, well, yeah, that's cool, but I got this one. So he pulls out another, and he's got these like wrapped in like a little towel. A Waterman number 10 size safety. Just ridiculous. And again, black as can be. It looks like it rolled off the floor.
Yeah,
so,
usually, you know, black hard rubber is most often found kind of tan or green from oxidation, and he just has some of the most amazing, pristine looking pens, and couldn't happen to a nicer guy, but he needs to stop showing them to you.
Well, you know, George
yeah, I know he needs to stop showing them to you.
No. That's out of my league. It really is. The one I missed that I never got back to, that I think Bob Novak had, was in John Velli actually found it and came over and showed it to me. Was an Aiken Lambert, and some of you know I collect Aiken Lamberts, a red hard rubber Aiken Lambert Beacon. And Beacon was a brand Aiken Lambert was a stylograph. This thing was red hard rubber with the original paper price label on it. This thing was mint. The price was right. I just never, ever, quite frankly, I forgot about it. And at the end of the show, John came up to me and he says, well, did you get that Aiken Lambert? I said, no, I totally forgot about it. There was no way to get it. So maybe if we run into him again, I might entertain that. But that was the one that got away from me. But lots of great. That was all on Thursday. Those pens. I also saw, interestingly enough, a pen that I used to own.
Oh, this was cool.
And actually, I have to look because I'm pretty sure this pen I own. If I don't own this pen, I have to buy it. There's no question about it. So I'm at a table and I'm looking at some Esterbrook, and there's a dollar pen set in the box, and it's a doctor's set, so it's white. It's got the black ends, pen and pencil. Always looking for these, and you know, other hard to find Esterbrook's. And owner of the table comes up and I ask what the price is, and he tells me, and I say, okay. And then he pulls out another tray of pens. He says, well, maybe you might be interested in some of these. And, you know, there's a nice Vigimaster there. There's, you know, some pastels. And then I see there's another smaller doctor's pen. And the doctor's pens, they made in two sizes, the full size and the demi size. And this is the demi size model, red ends. And when I picked it up and looked at it, it said Hazel Frank on it.
Mm-hmm. We know Hazel. We
know Hazel because that used to be my pen. I'm pretty sure of it because I replaced it. I upgraded. We bought a collection, and we had that same pen. And imprints don't mean anything to me. So I don't replace a pen with one that doesn't have an imprint because I've got one that's got an imprint. That doesn't mean much to me. But we found a pen that was much nicer condition overall. So I replaced Hazel. And here it was.
I don't know how Hazel felt about that.
I don't know how. I'm sorry, Hazel. I really am. If you're in the chat, I'll, you know. But it just blew me away. I mean, here it was, and I'm pretty sure I had the red one. If I have the black and the pen chest behind me, then I need to call Tom up and buy that right away, because that would be the second time in our lives that we have matched a set of doctor's pens. I don't think so. I think that was my pen. It was just weird, and it turns out it's a guy that both of us know. We've both bought pens from him in the past. I just didn't even recognize him. So,
who was that?
Tom Heath.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you know, I bought one of my, and not the first, but one of my first dozen pens from Tom. I bought a couple of them. I read Transitional, 3 Europe Jewel. I mean, I even remember the pens. But yeah, good guy, real good guy. He knows a lot. It was just weird. So, what else did we see Thursday? So as it ends up, right, we get in 11 o'clock, and the ballroom that we're in is not even set up.
Oh my God. If we had known then what we knew 9 o'clock that evening, we would have gone to our room and taken a really long nap.
We would have, yeah. So, and then, so we walked around, and we see if there's anything we need to buy, and we're just chatting with friends, because that's really the day to do it. And,
and we never get to do that.
Yeah, we never get to do that. Pierce Jarvis had some really cool stuff. I never did get back to him. He had a word that was high on my list. And a John Holland. Very cool chasing pattern I'd never seen before. But yeah, so we hung around, and then we decided, well, we just decided to go eat. We met up with Ed. And who else? Greg was there.
Mm-hmm.
And
yep, we hung out with Egg and Greg.
Egg and Greg.
Ed and Greg for a while. We went and had lunch at Smash Burger.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. I'd never been to a Smash Burger before.
Me either. The line was really long. And in fact, right behind us, walked in our good friend Tom Bailey. I think he turned around and left. I think he decided not to wait.
He did. Yeah, he bailed, so to speak.
Yeah. So that was fun.
I was kind of, it was okay. It wasn't, I don't know, you put bacon on anything and it tastes good, right? So
it was fine.
Yeah.
It wasn't bad. It just wasn't like, I wasn't wowed.
Yeah, their marketing made it seem like it was, I don't know, the best things in sliced bread, but maybe that's a wrong term for it. Yeah, so we did that, and then we hung out with Ed and Greg for a while, and Ed, of course, runs the Denver Pen Show that's coming up.
Awesome Denver Pen Show.
Yeah, onion rings. So Carrie's telling us the onion rings at Smash Burger.
I know, we didn't do that.
We didn't even get them. Thanks.
We were trying to be good.
Should have told me. The malt was good though. The malt was really good. So we hung out, and finally by 7 o'clock, I think it was, the room was ready.
No, it was later than that. It was like 8.
Was it 8? Jeez.
It was late. Yeah.
We waited 9 hours.
It's the first time in a very, I think ever, that we like hung out and didn't work or sell or buy, or we didn't have a business meeting. I mean, we just were like around. It was very weird.
Yeah, it was odd, especially because I could have bought a lot of stuff.
No, you couldn't have.
I could have.
No, I don't think so.
I would have. That's my goal someday, is to go and buy stuff. But anyway. So 8 o'clock, finally we can set up, and we stayed there for about 3 hours almost, huh?
Yeah, it was late.
First it was going to be, we're just going to set up the ink grid, and then we're going to go, and then we actually put the ink in, and then we put the paper out and some other stuff.
There were other people still there. If we had been the only ones left, we probably would have left earlier. I think they came in and said that they were going to lock the doors at 11.
Yeah, okay.
So we left right before that.
Yeah.
But yeah, we were there for quite a while, but we got easily 2/3 to 3/4 of everything set up, and then we just covered it up. Frankly, Christoph was in there for a while. Susan Worth was in there. Tim Pearson, I think, was in there setting up.
Yeah, probably. Mm-hmm.
Because many of us who have several tables, Bob Johnson has been great the past couple of years about letting those of us who have a lot of tables come in, claim our space, and set up whatever we want, and we leave it, and the doors are locked. But Deb Kinney had asked that we put something on her tables, because with all the machinery and everything that she has, she can't just move. So those of us who are just, I guess, more difficult, if you want to put it that way, those of us who can't really move easily, we get to set up, and that's a huge help.
Are you saying we're difficult?
I'm saying our setup is not easy. That's what I'm saying.
Not easy.
We are not easy.
Yeah, so it was great. So we're actually probably at our hotel unpacked by 11. I'd say 11:30.
Yep.
And that was that. So good attendance for Thursday. I mean, I was pretty impressed actually. I thought there was a lot of people. There were a lot of pens. Rich Lott had his bunch of parts out. But
his stuff is always fun to paw through.
It is, yeah. So we got some sleep, got up. We had breakfast at the hotel. We were staying down the street, just one block. Got breakfast at the hotel, came in early Friday, and got finished up fairly quickly. And Friday was fairly busy. There was a pretty good turnout, I thought.
Yeah, Friday was decently busy. But it's also nice that it isn't slammed busy like Saturday, so that you've got time to get set up and tweak everything that we have. And so often we either don't have room for something or we forget to put something out. So it was nice that we had most of it up, and it didn't require quite as much thought. It was really nice to sleep horizontally though.
Yeah. So we had Friday was when we got our deliveries, right? Yes, I think so. To the table. Yes, we did. So first off, and we let me just say this: we picked up so much new cool stuff that we're not even going to talk about it all on the podcast or show it to you, because we'd be here all night. Yeah, so we're gonna pick one brand, and over the next several weeks we're just gonna talk about it, because I mean it was ridiculous. It was just every time we turned around there was something cool that we had to bring home.
And so a lot of it.
Yeah, and a lot of it. It was never like one item. It was 15 or 30. So it just worked out that way. Ed from Atoya walks over with 3 long boxes. They had to have been, I don't know, 1.5 feet long.
Yeah.
Open them up, and they're lined with pens. And we knew they were coming, of course.
We did.
And it was cool because I love the box too. I mean, the box is straight from Japan, and it's got, just the whole thing is just really neat. Start opening up the pens, and they're amazing. They're really, really, really cool. And we'll hit them up a little bit later. But
every box we opened was like, oh.
Yeah.
And then the next one was like, oh, look at this. And then the next one, oh wow, I've wanted to see one of these in person. And then the ones Brian was waiting for. Holy cow! So it was.
And they kept getting more beautiful and more beautiful every time I pulled another one out. I mean, it was ridiculous. It was
awesome.
just. Seeing them on paper does no justice whatsoever. They're just fascinating. And and it occurred to me the other day. It's like somebody made a comment. I had posted something on Instagram or something, and someone said something like, "Oh, what a surprise! Anderson's talking about sailors again." Yeah. I mean, I don't want to. It's not the sailor show, but wow, this is really cool stuff. So what I was excited is as I'm putting this stuff up, who walks by? But John and Carol from Luxury Brands. Yeah, they come by, and I was kind of embarrassed, right? Because, I'm putting out competitors' pens, and they're like, oh, well, you don't have any room. I'm like, no, I will make room.
Well, no, the backstory is that we knew that John and Carol were coming up to see us. They spent 2 days at the show. I think they had a couple other appointments, but they kept coming back to the table, and we love them. They're just amazing. They distribute Noodlers and Platinum, and we knew that they didn't have a table and that they had intended to bring some pens to put at our table. So we got 31 pens that Jin Takamura had sent us from Sailor. And then John and Carol have, was it 2 big boxes?
I don't know. We didn't even count them because I actually, yep, and this is a true story. As we were unpacking the pens today, I found 2 pens that I did not have out that I did not know we had. And they're beautiful. They're beautiful. So there's, I don't even know how many. We probably got another 30 Platinum.
I think it's more, actually.
It might be more. Yeah, I don't know. 3776. Everything from black to red to chartreuse blue to the pure Nice,
All sorts of things.
regular pure, the new Yamanaka, and then several
And then,
different presidents, and the Izumos, Urushi lacquer.
You just like to say that.
I do. I love it. They're outstanding, large pens.
Well, and that was on top of the Sailor Maquis that we had just unpacked. So we had just laid out, an extra, I think we put out about 20 of the 31 pens, and we had just laid out this tray and a half of Sailor yumminess. And then now we've got 2 trays of platinum gorgeousness. It was just almost overwhelming.
Well, it's funny because
Awesome.
John was helping me put them out. And of course, now the way Platinum marks their boxes, everything is with a number only. There's no words to describe what it is. So once you take it out of the box, you have to know what the pen is to associate it with the box, or vice versa. So John starts putting the stuff out, and I don't know what the heck it is. I don't know how much it is. I don't know which box it goes in, and it was just funny because we're just there's peanuts there, and we're digging through the box, and did we get everything? And it was just crazy and beautiful stuff.
We ended up bringing all of it home. They did bring. We're just like scavengers. We just want this and this and this. But in the big box, maybe it was just one, but it was a big box. There were some display pieces, and so even today when we were unpacking, and Sunday night when we were trying to empty from one big box into a couple boxes and trying to fit everything in the car, we kept coming up with things. Some great little display pieces for the lighted tower cases in the store. And
that platinum,
trays were great.
Nameplate is cool. It's got a little magnet on the back, and neat stuff. The trays are great. They're actually, you see a lot of pen display trays that have an acrylic holder. It's scalloped so you can rest the pen in, and Platinum has a little soft. It's almost like a foam holder, so that the Urushi and the Maquis pens don't get scratched, and they just lay in there, and it's perfect. It's really neat. Neat pens, really neat. The new gold leaf. There were two of the gold leaf, the Wind God and the Thunder God, and then there was the Dragon, and then 2 other 3776 Maquis. Really neat stuff. And so then that came.
Yeah.
And then wasn't it shortly thereafter that we ran into this this other thing? You have a box on your desk, and I have a bag in my desk.
Yes. Friday, since we were mostly set up.
And we knew this was coming.
Yep, we knew that this was coming. Someone had gotten in touch with us and said, I've got a boatload of stuff and you want to buy it. So we did. We came up with a price and we bought it.
It was in a big tub.
A big tub and another big box. And so they brought that over. Once we negotiated everything, they brought it over. And so we've got, extra boxes from Sailor, this big box with all these peanuts from Platinum, and then this other tub and another box. Part of what we bought, I'm just gonna jump right in here, is I saw this. Yeah. Does anyone know what this is?
Those people that are listening in.
This is a big, huge divider box. You find them in craft stores, in hardware stores, and it's full of nibs. It's full of replacement Schaefer nibs. Tons. There are over 100. In fact, we haven't counted. Maybe tonight we'll do that to inventory it. But I saw it. And I said, I have to have that. I don't care how much it is. We're taking it.
New old stock.
New old stock.
14 karat.
Summer gold.
Yeah, I mean every modern. What's that?
I think there were a couple pens in there too.
There were 3 ballpoints in there. Yeah.
Cool.
New old stock.
For inlaid nibs.
For legacies, Prelude nibs, 300 nibs, 100 nibs, intensity nibs. I mean,
Look
the
at
whole
that.
gamut.
Yeah. Yeah, easily. Yeah, there's way more than 100 in there. So there was that. And then we also, as part of this big buy everything, Brian's got a bag on his desk that's cartridges and a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah, it's going to be tough to see because it's still in the bag. There's a lot of Schaefer cartridges. There's a couple keychains in here, and then there's like caps and barrels, and you can see it if you're looking here. You can see there's these caps and barrels, and so I pull it out, and in the bag, and so I started like, oh well, there's a cap here that goes with this barrel, and so I pull one out, and here's a matte gold plated Legacy Heritage.
In pieces, but you put them together.
But you put it together, and I've got a gold.
It was all there.
Yeah, a rollerball, the whole thing. Like, oh, that's cool, right? And then here's the one that just I stopped. Lisa was talking. She's showing it to staff. I said, do. A moment of silence because this I found the cap on one side of the bag and the barrel and nib on the other side. Solid sterling silver Legacy Heritage fountain pen. Brand new.
It's absolutely breathtaking.
Yeah, medium nib. Great pen. I actually have the sister or the brother to this pen in gold trim. There's a gold trim version that has a gold cap band and a gold clip. Plated clip, and this version is all silver. Super cool pen. I'm a big Legacy fan. I've got a number of Legacy 1s, 2s in a Heritage, and so and there's more. There was another rollerball I put together. There's a 300 barrel in there, and then there's a bunch of black Legacy barrels in there. So all I got to do is I can put together some more pens even. So that was really cool. Really cool.
Let's see. Also on Friday, was it Friday that somebody came up to us and said, "I've got something that's going to make you want to give me something in return."
Yeah.
And I said, "No, I don't think so." And he took it out and he showed it to me, and I'm like, "It's a Parker Jotter. I don't want it." He's like, "No, you got to look at it." I'm like, "Whatever. Show it to Brian." And next thing I know, Brian's making a trade. I go, "Look what I got." It's
Bill
fine.
Wheatley I don't like him. And I say that in the nicest possible manner. We love Bill. But he's always coming up with stuff that you look at him and you just go, Bill, why do you do this to me?
Yeah. And this was one of them.
And so this is, it's okay. So let the ribbing begin.
Wayne just did.
Well, he's on lag, so he's talking about the gold-filled rollerball.
Okay.
So let the ribbing begin. I bought a ballpoint.
Wait, say that again.
I bought a ballpoint, and yes, it does work. The refill works. Is it Parker?
Brian Anderson.
Brian Anderson
Bought a ballpoint.
Bought a Parker Jotter ballpoint.
Okay.
This is I'll be even more honest and forthcoming. This is not my first Jotter.
No.
I think I have another one. Actually, I had lost one, so maybe this is my only Jotter.
Okay, so why did we want this so badly?
Why did we want this so bad? Okay, so this looks like an ordinary Jotter. Actually, it's somewhat unique because it has the barrel is actually made out of aluminum, kind of a cross-hatch pattern, like a Ciselé, kind of like a Parker 75 Ciselé finish. Very interesting. It's aluminum. It's not sterling. But then, as a lot of Parker Jotters do, it has a little emblem on the clip. And when I saw it, I had to have it. It, of course, is the logo for the 4th generation Corvette right there on the clip. So I said, okay, Bill, what do you want? And he said that he wants a couple bottles of ink. I'm like, okay, great. No problem.
So we traded. Everything was good.
We traded. Everything's good. And it's just neat, so.
But the irony to that is that just earlier in the day, you bought something that's about as far from a Parker Jotter as can possibly be.
Earlier in the day?
Wasn't it Friday morning that you bought
This thing here? No, I bought this on Sunday.
You sure?
No, I'm positive.
All right. Well, you started the weekend with a Parker Jotter, and you ended up a whole different ball of wax.
Before we get to that.
Oh, all right.
But wait, there's more.
All right.
Our good friend Carl Daniel. Carl's a longtime Esterbrook collector. We bought a number of things from him. He's fascinating to talk to. I think it was Carl, wasn't it?
It was Carl.
It was Carl. Yeah, because his name's on the envelope. Of course it is. He walks by the table. I'm medium busy, and he hands me this envelope. He says, in the envelope's got a little sticky note on it, and it says, "For the Andersons." So here's the envelope. I don't know who we got it from, but inside is a bunch of photocopies, and then this booklet. And for those of you listening in, because I'm redoing the audio versions, it's an original booklet. It says Esterbrook Electrotypes in Mats, Esterbrook Pen Company, Camden, New Jersey. And inside, this is really cool. This is, at some point, ephemera is just really, really awesome. So I'll read the first page. It says electrotypes and mats. The illustrations in this book are reproduced from electrotypes, which are available to Esterbrook dealers without charge. Mats will be furnished if specified. And you can order by number to show the illustration and specify where the mats or electrotypes are desired. So you could use this to get, hard to show this without trying to rip it, different sizes of images for ads. And there's a lot of cool stuff in here. So there's desk sets.
And the images are pristine. They're perfect. It was absolutely amazing.
Carl, yeah, these are cool here. So check these out. These say, this is the standard thing that you always see: 33 numbered points, Esterbrook Renew Point fountain pen for sale at, and then there's a spot where you can put your store name. They have 1 column ads, 2 columns. You've got in each one, of course, you can see the woman's fingernail, who she's changing out the point, and the lever fillers, dipless sets. It's outstanding. It's really, and it's clean.
Yeah, it's absolutely perfect.
Ball bearing clip, dip pen nibs. Yeah, and there's even this one actually. We should be able to date this. One of the most interesting thing in here is on the dipless page. They show the Esterbrook elevator, which is a very, very short-lived dipless desk set. One of the coolest ones. They're this cute little animation of a bunch of guys in overalls lifting up the bottle of ink to put it on the nib of the pen. So Carl just drops it off, says, "Here you go." That was that.
I know.
So thank you, Carl. I love this Esterbrook ephemera stuff. It's really cool. I mean, I've never seen this before. So.
I don't think I bought anything, did I?
You bought a salad at the restaurant?
Steph, did I get a pen?
I don't think you did.
Well, what the heck is up with that? Because on Sunday, you got, go there so we can move on.
Okay, so we were talking with our good friend Jimmy Dolev. He runs Total Office Products down in Atlanta. We went to go see him, and we're checking out how he's in the process of, he and his daughter, Suzanne, are in the process of building a new website. So we were helping him out with some of that. And then, of course, we bought some cases from him and a couple other things. And we had some time Sunday morning after breakfast, and we were looking around and looking at his stuff. And he says, and I saw you did buy something. I bought something for you, the Greg Clark ink sampler.
Oh, that's so cool. I love that.
It's probably downstairs.
It is.
But this is the original. I don't know what year this was. It was late late 80s, early 90s, maybe.
Yeah.
This is the original ink stamp hole book, right? And Greg would go and he would print out these pages, and then he would swab the colors in every book, and then he would sell the books. They're very hard to find, and it includes many. Then he did pH test and a couple other things that are very
light test. He would take the actual sheets and put them up on his roof, or some he would put in like a front window. It was crazy.
So we found that, and they're almost impossible. The cool thing is there are inks in there that are no longer in production, or that are really hard to find, or no longer distributed in the United States. So it was really neat. We got that. I'm like, okay, Jimmy, what do you want for this? He goes, Ryan, I got some other stuff for you. And because he talks like that, and he brings out a little slaughter box, and it's got some dip pen nibs in it. And I see he's got a sailor nib in there. So I'm like, well, Jimmy, what do you want for the sailor nib? I could use that. Be nice to have always nice to have an extra nib lying around. And we agreed on that. And then he goes, I got something else for you, Brian. And he turns around, and you're in trouble when on Sunday morning a dealer goes and pulls something out from behind the table. It wasn't on his table the entire weekend. He pulls out this black pen. I posted it on Instagram and on Facebook. And here it is. And it's really hard to see this pen, but it's large. It is the Pro Gear King of Pen, silver trim. Okay, and that's cool, but what makes this one so special is that this is the Nagahara limited edition. Now, we knew Nagahara made a limited edition, a special edition pen when he retired, before he retired. That was made out of bamboo. It was a real long thing. And it had, the coolest part is the nib has his name written on it. And I thought, well, that'd be cool someday if we could find that. It'd be neat, but I'm not much of a, bamboo is kind of weird. Well, when I found this, I said, and there's only 100 made, and it has that same nib, and you can't really see it, but I'll pretend that I'm holding it up so Wayne can just yell at me.
We'll take pictures and put it on.
I'll take pictures, yes, but it's got Nagahara's signature on the nib. It's a 21 karat Naginata Toji nib. It's got some softness to it. Very large nib. I had to have it. So very hard to find. Large, very broad nib. It's just really, really a super pen. And Lisa was gracious enough Sunday morning to allow me to purchase this, and I would have been fine going the weekend without a purchase other than the jotter. But Jimmy knows where to hit you, man. He's a good. he does. He knows where everybody's soft spot is, and
yeah. But it was a good deal. It was a good deal. Everybody left happy, but it was funny because we had been talking about the Nagahara nib just a trip or two ago. It was not that long ago. Yeah.
Mike Madison likes my quote. Bamboo is kind of weird. Bamboo's fine, but it's like bamboo with a nib shoved in the end. It's I don't know. Yeah, it's number 93 of 100, so it's a late production in it. It's beautiful. I inked it up. I put Mont Blanc Bordeaux in it, and man, is it nice. Yeah, Lisa's awesome. Lisa's awesome. She wins yet again the Best Wife of the Year award. Sorry, guys. But
well, and then yeah, we've had a lot of really phenomenal. Eric, you're right. We have a lot of phenomenal things that happened this weekend, and I am truly grateful that so many things just kind of came together. Let's do the rest of the sailors real quick and then keep moving on. Otherwise, we'll be here for like 3 hours.
Yeah, it is getting late. So let's cover the sailors real quick. You've got a couple that are really neat.
I do. Now, keep in mind that we picked up, like we said, so much stuff. We're going to have to talk about it over the next couple shows. We've got sailors tonight. We'll do platinums probably next week. We've got Wall Eversharp.
Yeah, new Skylines.
It's some really cool celluloids. We have some really, really cool deltas that we came home with, like 15 of them.
15 or 16, something like that, yeah.
And they're mailing us more.
Yep.
Some really hard to find, unusual, very cool stuff. What else do we come home with?
Schaefer.
Some cool Schaefer, some vintage
Schaefer Preludes, yep. And
I might have to keep one.
I think you should, because
well, I can't decide. I'm not a pink kind of girl, so
well, it's not really pink.
We'll see. Yeah, it's kind of pearl pink. Anyway, so some of the sailor pens that Jen had sent for us, we'd actually started to get ready to order. There are so many sailor pens, you know, it'd be $1 zillion to order everything. And we're just a little mom and pop, and we don't go into debt. We do what we can and buy what we can. So it was kind of fun to have just 31 pens show up for us.
Yeah, I was like, well, we don't have any of these, so that's perfect.
Let's just keep them.
So show what you got there.
All right. Well, I've got the Pro Gear Transparents. Now, we've had the Pro Gear. We've had the Pro Gear Clear, but we haven't had the colored. So you've got the orange, the green. Green's really cool.
Yeah, it's a real vibrant green.
Pink. These are nice.
And a couple in slim versions too.
Yes.
No green slim, but the pink and the orange are in slim.
Mm-hmm. And then one that we definitely never had before. They sent us a couple. We actually sold one. It's a lefty. It's even marked L. It's the 1911 large in the burgundy, which is a gorgeous color.
Well, and what's interesting about that is they don't make a 1911 large in burgundy.
Right.
Per se. They only make it as a lefty pen. There's no markings on the nib that indicate it's lefty. It's just ground different for a lefty. For a left-handed writer, they put the lefty sticker on there, but there's no, you know, I might just keep one and put a regular nib in it. I don't know.
What? Yeah, it doesn't say.
Yeah, you wouldn't know. You'd have to look at the grind real close to see that it's done a little bit different.
But those are cool.
Yeah, I was surprised. I actually sold one. The guy was happy. He's like, "Yeah, it's great. I'll take it."
And then Brian has all the really cool stuff.
So this one I think is cool.
No, we knew that these were coming,
Yeah,
and we had a list, so we knew what to expect.
So this is a lot of Pro Gears. Okay.
We were unprepared.
Yeah, Pro Gear matte black. So we've had the Imperial black, which has the ion plated trim. This is matte black. It's very similar, but it's matte, and it comes with the silver trim. So it's got the nice two-tone nib. And some of you may know that the Imperial black comes with a warning that you're only to use sailor inks in the pen or risk the plating coming off. Well, this pen, if you're afraid of that, this pen is really close in the looks department, and it's got the regular, you know, three-tone nib. Really nice looking pen. And then these three. So these are 1911 large, 21 karat nibs, Maki-A on resin. And we've seen pictures, and they don't do them justice. They absolutely don't. This one is the butterfly, and it's difficult to see, but you have to rotate it. On the wings of the butterfly are little abalone shell on all the wings of the butterflies on all sides, and then it's signed by the artist on the back. Really nice. The butterfly. This one I didn't think was all that impressive, but then when I saw it in person, I thought this is great. The deer, and it's hard to see.
Very cool. They're
beautiful
really
shading on the deer. You know, and there's activity all over the place on these pens. You know, there's some wildlife behind it. And
so I was constantly counting them. Steph was looking at them. I don't know that she was quite as enamored of them as you, or maybe she just hides it better. You were just drooling on them. So
Yeah.
I was like constantly checking to make sure that they were there. Not that I was worried that someone else was going to steal them, but I was worried that one or more were going to end up in Brian's pocket.
Well, that's all right. And this is my favorite. This is, I'm just bouncing right over that. This is the dragonfly. And so what I like best about the dragonfly is there's something going on all sides of the pen. There's dragonflies in the cap. There's one on the cap, and there's two on the barrel, but there's always something. And then again, these have in the wings of the dragonfly, little abalone chips.
Absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, so nice. So we got those. We'll be getting them up on the website this week, hopefully.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, I think that's it. I think that's all the new sailors. We got multiple different nib sizes, etc. But
it was awesome.
Yeah, really nice stuff. So,
all right. Now we did have some time to hang out for dinner with Hugh and Carol.
It was awesome.
It was awesome, except for one thing. None of us are as young as we used to be, and we had so much fun. We kept going and talking, and Carol is a phenomenal cook. Oh my God! Just marry me and cook for me. But it was such a great time, and I was yawning. I think we all were yawning, and then we looked at the time when we got in the car to drive home to the hotel, and it said 12:36, and I'm like, oh, well, that's not so bad. And then Brian reminded me that that's Central Time.
Yeah.
It was 1:36. So by the time that we got back to the hotel and in the room, it was about 2:15. And let me just tell you that 6 o'clock Saturday morning, the busy day, came really early. That was painful.
It was hard. It was really hard. 4 hours of sleep, and then the busy Saturday. Ouch.
Well, and it was Saturday that we had breakfast plans with John and Carol Gillette.
Yeah.
And so we actually, that took a little longer than we'd thought. And that was awesome too. We just talked, and we just have so much in common, and not just pens, but family things and personal values, and we just had the best time. And then it was like, oh gosh, I guess we better get to work. It was really wonderful.
Well, we never knew when the stinking place opened, because we never got hours.
Yeah.
That was my only beef about the show, is we never knew when the show was opening in the morning. So exactly. So we did breakfast, and then Saturday was really busy. And then Saturday night was the PCA auction, and Terry Mayhorter, who runs the Raleigh show and the Ohio show, often does auctions, not only for his shows, but for other shows as well. And so Terry is a pro. He really knows what he's doing. And I've worked about a dozen auctions with Terry. And so we tried to guide the PCA on what they needed and what supplies you needed and how it normally runs for efficiency and security. And I'm proud to say that we raised just shy of $13,000. It's awesome.
That was very awesome.
For the PCA. And
for the Pen Collectors of America.
Yeah.
And so one of my favorite parts of the night is Brian is sitting there with Steph on one side and Jenny on the other. And I can't see them all really clearly, but then Brian sits back with this funny grin on his face and kind of puts his arm around each woman, and he's just sitting there totally looking like he's living the life with two pretty ladies at a pen auction. How much better can life get? So it was great.
We were just screwing around. We were having a good time back there.
Yeah.
Jenny and I and stuff.
And then Jenny won a pen.
And Jenny won a pen, actually. So I had a number of items on the list that I was bidding on. I was interested in it.
You and Steph are a bad influence on my little sister.
Yeah, well, I didn't win any of them, which kind of saddened me. I've struck out too many times now in auctions, which means I'm going to win something someday. But so we came to a point where there was a Targa set that Jenny was talking about, and she had lost a Targa in the past, and she never replaced it. And I said, you know what, you need to let that memory go. You need to get a new one to replace it, and it's gonna be all good. So this was mint in the box, and I knew it was coming up, and I just handed her my card and I said, here, you better bid on this thing. And she bid, and she held it up, and this is her first auction, and she got caught up in the excitement. But I know she wanted it, and it went for a really nice price, and she won the set. So we were all happy. So
No longer a pen auction virgin.
I know you got to win one right away just to take that anxiety out. So
You know, it was funny. A couple years ago, we were in, I think it was Philly, and Steph was at the auction with you, and nobody was bidding on this one.
was it desk set?
And so Steph got it for like $250 or $5 or something really
Or
crazy
something?
dumb. Yeah, it was incredibly cheap, and that was kind of funny because they started at it like 15 or $20, and then they went down a little and down. All right, give me 20.
I think it was $1. I think she won it for $1.
Give me 5, and Steph said, "How about $1?" And I think that's what I don't know. It was incredibly tiny,
Yeah,
and everybody clapped when it went.
Good stuff goes on at auctions, and even for people who aren't there, I was texting our good friend Mike Byler all throughout the auction and screwing around with him. Yeah, I was telling him that pens were, if like a pen sold for 120, I'd write the 20 down, and then I'd take a picture of the sheet, and he'd see
And it
like
looked
a
like
pen
it was
sold
12.
It looked like 12 or 20 or something like that. He'd be like, what? So anyway, yeah, auction was fun. On Saturday night, it was a long day.
Yeah. And we started to think about a drink at the bar just to kind of relax because the auction, and then we just decided it was too late, too much, tired. And it's time to go to bed.
Yeah.
And then Sunday was great. Brian bought his King of Pen, and it was definitely, I felt it was a little slower. It was still busy. But we did manage to get out and do a little bit more shopping and see some people. It was good.
So.
And then we packed up. We were absolutely the last people out.
We were. We lost that one this time. But we stopped thanks to Steph and Alice, who brought food down for us. I love Alice.
I think they must have brought some from home.
Yeah.
Because or somebody made a food run or something because well, on Saturday I said to Steph, I said, now your primary goal, your only objective is to make sure that I eat lunch, because I didn't eat the day before on Friday, and the ballroom is hot, so when you are tired and you haven't eaten and it's just really hot under all those lights, so Steph did her very best to mother me and did you have some sandwich? Yeah. Take a bite of your sandwich. I got this, take a bite of your sandwich. So I had about 3 bites of Friday's sandwich.
Right.
Never finished it. But periodically, like we bring food with us, so I'm sure that it was the same thing. An apple would appear. Or a fresh bottle of water.
Soda or something.
Soda. Yeah. And it was phenomenal. And our friend Julie had emailed a while back to me when I had first started to follow my doctor's recommendation to try gluten-free for my thyroid. And she said, I'm doing the same thing. I'm going more paleo. Here's some great resources, because there's so much out there. And then a couple weeks after that first email, she sent me a recipe for gluten-free granola, for a paleo granola. And it looked amazing, but I just didn't have time to try it before we left for the show. And Julie walks up at the show with this huge container of the same granola that she sent me the email, the recipe for. She made it, and it was phenomenal. So I was nibbling on that the whole time. So Julie, you rock. Yeah. And I brought it to work, so now I can nibble on it at work. That was the only thing keeping me going, I think, on Saturday.
So yeah, we got out late. That's all right, but yeah, I mean, we saw so much. We bought a lot of stuff. I placed some order for some new pens that I'm not going to talk about that are coming out. Saw some prototypes of some pens that we're going to get. from a particular manufacturer, and just and everything vintage. I mean, it's just I had people bringing pens to me, showing me stuff, and it was a lot of fun. So
Yeah.
So we got two more new things that we should talk about, and then we just do our shout outs and
Okay.
mention our friends. I think you have both of these items. One of them is actually up on the site now. It's a long lost friend, so to speak. It's in the square box.
Okay. So one of the things that we picked up, I totally forgot that we had this coming. We lucked into a stash of the now discontinued Conway Stewart ink. And there are 5 or 6 colors. I don't even remember.
4 colors. Yeah, we have 4 colors. Yeah.
All right. We only had 4, but I think there were 5.
There were more. There were more than that.
Okay. So anyway, we lucked into several boxes of several of the colors. These are up on the site, and we're excited to have them.
So, yep.
And I have the other one.
You also have the other one, yeah.
It's really hard to beat this experience, and I think everyone should go through this at some point in their life. You walk into a pen show, some good-looking guy walks up and hands you a box of pens and says, "Here, this is for you."
Totally forgot this was coming. I totally forgot we did it.
I know. I was excited. And so without further ado, we have our newest Franklin Christoph. Scott walked up, handed me the box of our brand new pens, the Pocket 40.
Pocket 40 Ice.
Pocket 40 Ice with the Anderson blue.
The blue cap on the end. The little.
Yeah. So we knew that we'd ordered it, but Scott, I guess, had surprised us. We didn't know that we were going to be.
Yeah, he didn't send an email, nothing.
Yeah. He doesn't write, he doesn't call, he just shows up with pens. So it was awesome. Clear end, you've got the blue finial at the top, and just the ice body is really cool. Yeah,
could use it as an eyedropper.
Mm-hmm.
Little silicone crease, maybe an O-ring. Others, short international cartridge, yeah. So
that was fun.
Beautiful, beautiful.
We had that. What else?
I think that's it. We should mention the folks if we haven't already. I mean, there's a ton of people, and we're going to forget somebody, so I apologize. But our friends Jenny Sisler, Steph, Tracy Lee.
Tracy was there. She was having a good time.
Carrie Yeager, Fountain Pen Day.
Yep. Delee was there. Always good to see her. She always looks so put together, and she's always just so happy to be there. Hugh and Carol, of course, and oh my God, Carol. If Carol and Steph opened up a restaurant, can you imagine how phenomenal that would be? It'd be
imagine how broke we would be going there and eating all that.
Alice fed us the whole time, and I would have passed out and crawled under the table without her. We saw our good friends Ulysses and Erica. We see them in Raleigh and DC and occasionally Columbus and
Baltimore. Actually, they don't get to Columbus.
They don't?
No, we were talking about it. It's during peak retail season for Ulysses.
For Ulysses.
So they were talking about it, but they don't think they can do it. But we see them in Baltimore and.
Yeah, it's always just so wonderful to see them. They're just such a great couple and funny. And they were teasing me right before my first surgery about needing an eye patch, and so there were all sorts of pirate references, and they're just great. Every time I see them, I just smile. Julie for the granola and all of the help and the resources. You rock. Pam was there, and she had gotten a big container, a big like 24 pack of bottled water. And she was getting ready to fly home, and she brought it up to me and said, "I can't take it on the plane. You want some?" So we ended up with more bottled water. I want to give a shout out to, I think it's Marcia and Brett with 1T. She gets the award for the most purchases during this show. I think she came back like 5 or 6 or 7 times. And it got to a point where we'd both kind of laugh about, I could just make a big pile for her and she can just keep adding to it or whatever. But that was a lot of fun. And Mike and Audrey Madison were there. And how many times have we seen them this summer?
We
saw them in Raleigh.
They came to Appleton shortly thereafter. DC, and did we see them before Raleigh? I don't remember.
I don't know, but we were joking that if this keeps up, we're going to have to get like a tour bus and just travel together.
That'll be all right.
Which would be a blast. That would be a blast. So, and I know that there are other people, and I'm sorry, we're still trying to recover, and our brains are shot. I should write it down, but there's just never any time.
Yeah, I mean, we saw so many people, so many cool things. I mean, as we're talking here, I'm thinking of all the things people want to know, what other things that we saw, and without adding too much commentary, Sid Saperstein and the new Deco bands, the demonstrators.
Yes.
Awesome looking pens. They're
very
huge, cool. Big oversized with the flexible nib. Those are going to be exciting. They're coming out next month. Who else? I did not see the new Esterbrook Lincoln, so those are asking. I didn't see it.
He wasn't at the table very much.
I don't think he was there Sunday because we were walking around in the atrium on Sunday.
I think I heard someone say that he closed it down pretty early.
Okay.
But it's hard to sell if you're not at the table. That's all I'm saying.
Richard Fernandez, our good friend, Francis Babillion, who I'm trying very hard to persuade to come to Appleton. He lives in Minnesota.
Yes.
And do a Pelican repair clinic. He's thinking about it. I just got to get him to pull the trigger. Always the best dressed man at the show, as we call him.
Yeah.
Sarge,
Sweetheart.
of course. Sarge and Jazz.
Just so many people.
Yeah, so many people.
It's crazy.
So,
we made a couple new friends. That
we did.
We made at least one new friend. Sunday morning.
Sunday morning
After breakfast.
Oh, yes. Of course we did. Yes. Now that everybody has no idea what the heck we're talking about.
Yeah. So we actually have. It's just been amazing. We have a couple new lines that we're adding to our repertoire of pens, and I got to say we're really excited about some of this. So let's just maybe skip into the special thank yous.
Yeah.
All right. So on Friday, I don't think we mentioned that we got to spend some time with Mark Cole from Coles of London, and there's nothing better than a man with an accent. It's just dreamy. But it was great to spend some time with him and to look at some of the new stuff which we ordered. The speakeasy looks really cool. So we were very excited about that. And that was fun. The Fridays are always good for that low key kind of networking and working and shopping. And we get to spend time with some true industry greats, and it just is so cool. Sunday morning we had breakfast with Joel Blumberg and Deneen Diamond from Kenro.
Deneen's awesome, and Joel is there are no words.
Yeah. He is wise beyond his years.
And funny.
And funny. Yeah, he's got a great sense of humor. Sometimes there are little zingers in there, but always great advice. And, one of the great things about Kenro from a retailer standpoint is they're not looking just to sell us pens. They're looking for us to make money so they can make money. They're looking for everyone to be happy and successful. And it's just great to spend time with them. Deneen had her daughter with her at the Long Island show, and I would have taken her and adopted her if I could have. So there's always a little, send her some love for me, and she sent a hug, and they were just wonderful. John and Carol Gillette, we had breakfast with Saturday morning, and we really solidified some things and some plans for down the road, and we're excited. We're going to see them again in Denver and in Dallas, so we may go on the road with them or something. I don't know.
Cool.
Special thanks to Jin Takamura and Scott Hammer, Larry, and Ed from Atoya for sending the pens. And I mean, they just sent this huge batch of pens.
Yes, thank you for sending the 6 Mach-E's.
6. There were 9.
Not anymore.
Nice. So, you know, we're just blessed to have so many wonderful people in our life. Erica Roscoe had some time for me last week, and you know, he always has a really interesting perspective on things. And Eric, I just want to say thank you. I didn't have a chance to use your advice, but thank you. It was exactly what we needed when we needed it, and you rock.
Yeah, thanks, Eric.
That's it.
Is that it for this week?
That's
okay,
it.
So that's kind of a brief wrap up. I mean, it's an hour and 7 minutes, but there's a lot going on. It's impossible to, you know, and there's people everywhere. You know, Lee Riaz, we forgot to mention Lee.
Oh my God, Lee and Thomas, phenomenal people. Absolutely.
Didn't get to spend enough time with them, but
no.
Yeah, you know, there's any kind of pen you can imagine. I mean, you know, the first pen I see is George Marcus's number 12 says more safety. I mean, come on. After that, what more can you want? I mean, you know, I saw vintage pilots. I saw, you know, just really cool stuff.
Oh, and one more mention for Greg. And we were comparing eye surgery stories the whole weekend. It was great. And Ed Capizzi, he is so energetic and so passionate about the Denver show. It was a good show last year. I am absolutely positive it's going to be an awesome show this year, and we're really excited.
Yeah. So, all right. So quick note. Let's move on. Quick note about next week. Because of the San Francisco show, we're going to have the podcast on Monday. Because we're leaving on Tuesday. Right?
Yikes! That's a week from
Yeah.
right now. We will have been on the road for about 8 hours.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
San Francisco bus. So I will remind you. I'll put another reminder out next week. So podcast Monday, 8 o'clock. Probably do it from the store.
Yes.
But other words, I think that's it. And look forward to seeing you on the boards. Use your pens.
One more thing.
Wait,
Yep.
But wait, there's more.
Yeah,
For only
wait,
$19.95 plus $3 shipping and handling. You too.
As of Friday at 4 o'clock, Brian will no longer be gainfully employed by anyone other than us. And so I would like all of you to please send a little mental kind thought to me, since we will now have to share an office.
I should mention, I want to take a picture of it tomorrow, but our good friend Ed Capizzi sent me this postcard.
Oh, it was great.
After he read my blog post, which was entitled Ripping Off the Band-Aid, he sent me a postcard with a Band-Aid on it.
It was great.
I'll take a picture of it. It's kind of cute. And we got some other stuff in the mail too. So I really, really appreciate everybody's kind thoughts. I think it's very special. So I appreciate it. Are we done?
We're done.
All right. Everybody, thanks so much for listening tonight. Use your pens. Write to us at Anderson Pens, 10 East College Avenue, Suite 112A, Appleton, Wisconsin, 54911.
Check us out on Twitter, Facebook, Pinterest, Instagram, and all other social media as Anderson Pens.
The blog is blog.andersonpens.com.
And the website is andersonpens.com.
Check out the social media for updates, new products, stuff going on in the store. Thanks for listening to the podcast. We'll see you next week, Monday at 8 o'clock. And have a good night, everyone.